About 12 days ago, there was a video that went mega viral on X. And essentially, it was about a woman who went to Chipotle to complain about the portion of the plate that she received. So if you guys don't know, Chipotle is kind of notorious for this. I know this because I've had my own experience where I've gone to Chipotle and I've ordered a plate. And by the end of the order, my plate is unbelievably tiny. You can't even eat it with chopsticks. You need tweezers. So I understand where this woman is coming from. But at the same time, we have to question, was it correct for her to do what she did? So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the clip that was posted by Nate Rerun because he posted the video on X. So let's go ahead and take a look at the clip to see whether it was justified or not.
Just let her make her food. Just get her food, please. Like, yeah, like just let her get her food. Just the like.
Thank you. Y'all got me fucked up. Then she gonna take my food, talk about I can't get my shit. This was tripping.
Ooh. Damn. All right, well, we know one thing. She's not cognizant to common sense, incompetence to consequence. Or something like that. I don't know how Eminem said it. Luckily though, we ended up getting extra details because the news decided to cover it. And I thought that the conclusion that they both reached, I'm talking about the victim who got smacked in the face and the perpetrator, or at least she doesn't consider herself to be the perpetrator. The stories that they both told from their point of view is a bit outlandish to me. You could have sold that story off to Hollywood and that would have been the next installment to the Fast and Furious franchise. All right, let's go ahead and give it a watch to see where she stands in her story.
Our Leslie Moreno spoke to the woman tonight who explains her side of the story and why she says she was not in the wrong. It's a story you'll only see on WUSA 9.
Tonight, the woman seen in this viral video tells WUSA 9 she's somewhat remorseful.
I'm not saying what I did was right, and I'm not saying what I did was wrong, but I feel like I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong to a certain extent.
But she says there's more to the story and video. She claims her Chipotle order from Uber Eats was missing chicken and condiments. She says she walked to the store and asked for a refund. Employees explained refunds are issued by Uber.
Do you see where I'm coming from when I say that this shit sounds like the plot to a Sharknado movie? Like, how does that even make sense? At least to me, if her story is true, which we still haven't seen any evidence for, how is it that you're gonna ask Uber for a refund when they're not the ones who served that food? They only delivered it. Chipotle was the one that served that food, that bowl. Well, actually, I stand corrected because this is the actual Uber website, and it turns out that, yeah, you have to manage your refund through Uber Eats on behalf of the restaurant. So that is fucking new. It's because I don't use Uber Eats, so I really had to look this up before I put it, like, I put a video out there, spreading misinformation. But yeah, no, it turns out that this is the case. But even still, if you present the receipt and it states there that you ended up purchasing double meat, which, by the way, according to employees of that Chipotle, when she presented her ticket, it didn't say double meat.
She then asked them to remake her bowl instead, and they refused, claiming her ticket did not say double meat. She claims they took her original order and refused to give it back.
All right, so there's a lot of claims here. So essentially what she's saying here is that she took her bowl back. She asked them to remake it because she asked for double meat. They said no because it doesn't say on the receipt that you got double meat. So instead what they did, apparently, according to her, they ended up taking her bowl and they held it high enough for her not to reach it. So what she did was she realized her new dream, which was to go behind the counter and get another plate. As you can see, she ended up going behind the counter and she got what I consider to be the family meal because she's jam-packing all these ingredients into her bowl. If she continues to stack so much food, her plate is going to wobble. But you can see that one of the male employees attempts to sneak attack her and she ends up delivering the food to his face in much better time than Uber Eats ever could.
That's when she went behind the counter to make her own burrito bowls. She claims she was assaulted first by the male employees.
I understand you cannot go behind the counter, but once my food was taken, it was like you're taking my property. If somebody snatches your phone or takes something that belongs to you, you have all right to charge, not like hit them or assault them, but you have all right to chase them down to get your belongings.
Roberto Hernandez,
I like how they end up replaying that moment where he gets smacked in the face, like if it's some sort of basketball highlight. They talk about how he has like trauma from that part of the situation, and I'm sure that he can't even watch slap battles without having flashbacks of a Chipotle bowl. All right, but enough listening to the customer. Let's go ahead and listen to the employee side of the story, because he hasn't had a chance to give his side. Let's see what he got in store.
Roberto Hernandez, the employee seen smacked in the face, told WUSA 9 on Monday he was traumatized by the incident.
I was mad, upset, but to me, I'm a man. I can't hit a female.
Ah, a gentleman. Look who's still upholding traditional values. Tiny clap. So believe it or not, that's all to his story. That's all he had to compliment. They didn't even get his side or what it was like for him. And no one even questions, hey man, are you going to therapy? Because the news channel did say
he was traumatized by the incident.
And if you and I know how trauma functions, you already know that most girls who have trauma head over to OnlyFans. And I'm worried that this man, who seems like he's a real gentleman, he might end up heading in that same direction. Luckily, I did find a news channel that did cover his story, and really all we could do is just praise the news network that did this revelation, because without them, this man would have never been heard.
And she was like, I want to remake the whole thing. I want tomato, double meat, and everything. And I looked at the receipt and everything. It was not double meat, no tomato, nothing, all that.
Hernandez says he's a loyal employee who's worked at this location for over 2 years. He has yet to hear from corporate, but he'd like to see security inside the store.
First off, I'm gonna go ahead and be honest that if I ever start a corporation or some sort of business and I hire employees, I would definitely like, what the fuck is his name? Roberto Hernandez, that's his name. I would like employees like him, because like the fact is that he still took a risk and try to snatch the food away, which is obviously material, for the restaurant. They got to pay for that, praise to that. But you got to remember, whenever you attempt to take on an action like that, where you're attempting to stop a perpetrator, the perpetrator is always going to retaliate in their own way. And unfortunately, he's been receiving, some sort of like death threat from that woman.
He now says the woman is threatening him online.
Yesterday, she was saying, I'm going to come back and stab them and all that. I was scared. She was scaring my coworkers and all that too.
In a statement to WUSA 9, Chipotle said in part, "We do not condone guests who mistreat our team members. We are working cooperatively with local law enforcement and hope justice will be served." Hernandez has a message for the customer.
I hope that food was good.
This guy, he finished it off with a clever line. I hope that food was good. Essentially indicating that the food is going to be the last good memory she's ever going to have, because she's probably going to be sued by Chipotle. Is going to be served papers. I think from this point forward, all of her objectives are going to consist of legal matters. When you throw a bowl that is loaded with food, I don't consider that a bowl anymore. To me, that's a weapon. So the fact that she tossed that to his face, he most likely developed some sort of bruise on his face or some sort of sore. Nonetheless, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there. That's really all I have for you guys, and yeah, man, I'll see you guys next video.